to our virtual learning. So I just want to say a huge well done to those children who completed their learning last week. We had really good responses to our writing, and the quality of writing was just excellent. Last week we actually started and we did a couple of days worth of writing based on blending dialogue, description and action. Now when we read a story, whatever story it is, naturally an author does this. But as we learn to become authors ourselves, we need to actually develop this skill in writing. If we couldn't develop this skill, and if we just did a chunk of dialogue, a chunk of action, a chunk of description, the writing would be really boring and people wouldn't want to read it. So it's a really tricky skill that we need to master in order to make our writing really good quality and really appealing for others to read. So last week we did something like this. Okay, we looked at a specific scene of the children in the school canteen, and we looked at the dialogue, the description and the action, and then the day after I actually blended it together for you and asked you to do it. So we're going to do something similar today, however we're not going to break it down like this. What we are going to do, and what you guys are going to do, is hopefully you've read a little bit more than up to page 45 now. And I want you to choose any scene of your choice. So it might be from the film or it might be a scene from the book. Either way, use that original film or book text to help you, because you're going to pull exactly word for word from the film or word for word from here, the dialogue, okay? And then you can watch the film and you can get an idea of the description and the action, and then you can put it in there. So what I'm going to ask you today is, you don't have to split it up like this. What I want by the end of this lesson is about a page full of writing that is descriptive, okay? About your scene. So that means it blends all of these three together and you do it as you feel necessary. So if you think that actually it's more helpful to do this before you do your page of writing, then do that. If you think, no, you just want to watch the snippet of the scene from the film or read that chapter of the book from the book and then go straight into your writing of it, then you can also do that, okay? So don't worry too much about having to do this as well as then do the writing. I need the writing by the end of the lesson, okay? So I've just done this because I want to whiz over a few little reminders of things that I would expect to see in each of these. So when we think about dialogue, the most important thing is that I expect to see accurate punctuation. And we know that dialogue is speech and it therefore needs punctuating with inverted commas, okay? And inside the inverted commas, it needs a capital letter and some form of punctuation, and that is inside of the inverted commas, okay? Following on from that, we also want some synonyms for the word said. Now, you know that I don't particularly like the word said. It's okay once or twice throughout a piece of writing, but it's a pretty boring word. So let's use some other words like replied, laughed, squeaked, bellowed, okay? Let's get all of those good vocabulary synonyms in our writing today. Then when we think about, that's the success criteria for dialogue. Then when we think about description, it's really important that we think about basic noun phrases. Now we've done noun phrases from year 2. And in year 2, we would say simple things like an adjective before a noun. So for example, green leaves, okay? Technically it's a noun phrase, however it's a very basic noun phrase. So as we move up further into the school, we develop our descriptive writing by adding more into that. And we can add more into that by using relative clauses, okay? So I'll give you an example here. I'll do it in red so that it stands out. So my noun phrase is going to be the green leaves. And then my relative clause is going to be, so the green leaves, I'm going to say the green leaves, let's just make a sentence, about the green leaves. So the green leaves were high on the tree. Okay? Now, my relative clause is something that I add in about the noun phrase, so about the leaves, about the noun. So the green leaves, and remember, we add our commas. And then this is our relative pronoun, because it's about the leaves. The green leaves that rustled in the wind, I'm going to say. And then we need our comma, were high upon the tree. Okay, so my relative clause for those children who have said that they get muddled up when I talk about this, that's my relative clause, because I'm relating it back to the thing that I'm talking about, which is the noun. The green leaves that rustled in the wind were high upon the tree. Okay, so that's what I'd expect from your descriptive writing today. Then when we think about action, we think about verbs. Okay, so for example, we think about things that are being done. So for example, jumped. However, that's a little bit boring, so let's add some adverbs to our writing. So how is August going to jump? He's going to jump quickly. Okay, so those are the things that you need to remember in your writing today. So let's quickly surmise everything. So we've got punctuation for dialogue, which includes inverted commas. I've said I don't want to see the word said. I want to see other synonyms for that. Then when we think about descriptive writing, you need noun phrases and relative clauses. This will come really naturally and easily. This you might have to just think about it. But we have done lessons over and over again in grammar about relative clauses, so it's not too hard for anybody in Willow class. Then we've got actions, which are added information we're going to add with adverbs. Okie dokie. So that's what you are doing today. Again, it's a little bit clearer under the video that I want a piece of writing about a page long, which is descriptive about a scene of your choice. All right, I can't wait to read these pieces of writing.